Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Gossip Break, the cherry on top of your day. I'm one of your lovely hosts, Becky.
And I'm your other co-host, Bri.
Amazing. And we're going to jump right in because we've got a lot of juicy stuff we want to get into. So let's get into it. We're going to focus this episode on Housewives. So first we did get some housewife news over in the Northeast. I think it's technically considered Potomac.
Yeah, I would consider that.
Yeah, Nneka, to no one's surprise, is leaving RHOP. I don't know if it's on her own terms or the networks, but I'm what you think.
Please, it's not on her own terms. She would not have bought that house for $1 million up in there if it was not on her own terms.
Imagine you did, because you did a lot and you did a whole lot of nothing. Like, I would say, I don't know if you watched the reunion, it wasn't anything to watch.
Caught up on social media this season because honestly, it was getting a little bit too much for me. It was starting to feel a little bit too dark just with the colorism and all that. And I was like, I have to take a step back so I can like this show again. So I just kept up on social media. So I saw the gist of things, but you know the most of it. And I saw like the Nneka and Wendy stuff, and it just was like, oh, this is exactly why I didn't watch this.
Yeah, I think I was watching it live as the episodes came out until that pickleball episode.
Yeah, same.
When,
And that's when I
yeah,
stopped.
and the witch allegations were flying, colorism
Yep.
allegations were flying. I was like, this is too. Juan was acting a damn
I
fool
had to
in
take
front
a
of
break.
everybody. I was like, this is too much. And then I don't know what made me come back. I was probably just bored, honestly, and I just threw it on in the background.
Real.
And I didn't watch the fight. And I think I just watched like the reunions because I wanted to get like I'll get the
Like caught up, yeah.
recaps, and I also
You can pretty much get the recap on a season that doesn't have like too much of the drama, like layered drama. I feel like
yeah.
you can get enough on there.
Yeah, and so now Nneka's gone, Robin's gone, Candace is gone.
I
So who do we have
know.
left?
We have Karen, Giselle, Wendy, Ashley, Mia.
Hmm.
I think that's it,
Actually,
right?
you kind of missed something with Mia. That last episode was the best episode.
Oh,
I
wait,
guess it
actually, no.
happened
I
after
went
filming.
back and
Okay.
watched that episode because I kept seeing on social media like that's like the most real thing that like literally they recorded more than Robin's ever recorded in any season. So I was like, oh, let me go
Literally.
back and watch this. And that was intense. And that's like why I do like to see Mia on there, as delusional as she is, because she really doesn't care to show it all.
No, she brings it. She is the future of Potomac because these other ladies are clearly checked out.
The thing is like, yeah, you have to have a level of just being shameless to be a housewife, I think. And Mia is a perfect encapsulation of that. Like, she is so shameless. She will literally show anything. Like, they're literally talking about, they don't even know who the father of one of her kids is. And it's like, that is so irresponsible to be talking
It's
about. Like, you are
awful.
so shameless. Like, your kid is going to see this. But
No,
then at the same
it's
time, like, it
awful.
makes incredible TV. Whereas, like, some of these other women who have been in the game for so long, I feel like they almost have this entitlement, like they deserve to be protected. And it's like they deserve to not have everything be about their life. And it's like, you know what you signed up for. Kyle
Yeah.
Richards or even Karen. Like, I know she's going to have a hard time with this DUI.
Ooh, I forgot
And I
about.
love Miss Huger, but they're going to have to give it to her because that was not okay.
Yeah, and they're gonna try to cover it up and make it seem like it's something that it wasn't, but it's like, no, you got arrested for a DUI. Like, we need to address the elephant in the room. Same
Especially
thing with
because
Giselle.
there's like a lot of layers in Potomac, and one of them, like underlying layers, is kind of like Karen's allegedly, dare I say, alcoholism. I feel like there's always this kind of like they talk about it, they joke about it, like, oh, Karen will be like drunk calling us, or so. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, between that and like Mr. Blue Eyes, like, I believe everything.
Like, she's got some mess, and I want to see it actually. That's like the thing. It's like, I just need you to be a little more shameless, but
Yeah, just be honest, because look, I'm glad they kind of made an example out of Robin and
Mhm.
without asking her back, because it's like, if I'm a network executive and I'm spending millions, tens, hundreds of millions on this show, and my
Mhm.
staff isn't, I mean, that's with any job. If you show up to work and you literally all you do is show up, like, you don't work,
Yeah.
then you gotta go. I'll find somebody else who will take half of what I'm paying you and show 10 times more. And that's
And maybe that's
probably
what
what they did with Mia.
I was just going to say that. That's probably what ended up happening with Mia as they saw how much she was willing to give and how Robin was willing to give nothing. That it's like, whoa, that's a big difference. And also, I think the biggest slap in the face was Robin not, talking about the Juan stuff, but then saving it for her Patreon. So it's like, oh, so Bravo can pay you this hefty salary and you're not going to tell the truth, but you're going to tell the truth to your Patreon. Why don't Andy was probably like, why am I paying you?
No, literally. Just for her to get on Watch What Happens Live and be like, I believe him. And it's like, I don't expect her to say anything else because honestly, like, I would do the same thing. Like, I don't care. Like, yes, I cussed you out before this, after this, up and down, called you everything but a child of God. But if I'm on TV, that's my man, my man, my man.
Honestly, Robin
Because what
is,
else?
in fact, the dizziest bitch at the table.
Dizzy Dixon. That's
Truly.
her new name, even though she's not on the show anymore, so we won't be able to refer to her. But she will always be Dizzy Dixon in my book. Love you though. She's an
Yes.
Aries too, which is what really kills me because I'm like, you put up with all that
I know.
as an
I'm surprised she
Aries?
did. On This is why Robin is the dizziest bitch at the table. When there was that hot mic moment of Juan literally saying, I want more in my life. I'm only with her for the boys. I don't want to live my life like this. And then they got married again. Robin, you had your evidence right there.
And you're already
He literally
divorced.
told you. He literally told you. That one killed me. So Potomac should be interesting this season. I will be tuning in for sure because I want to see how this mix up changes the dynamic. And then also, what do you think about? I know this is a little bit past news, but just speaking of first season firings, Annemarie from Beverly Hills.
Buy 8.5, buy nurse, buy esophagus, buy throat, buy calves. Like, buy.
Yeah.
Even though I do want like 2 seasons, like I think it takes like a little time to like warm up. But also you can't be so desperado for a storyline your first
Yeah.
season. Like you kind of have to like play it up, like kind of how the
Mm-hmm.
New New Jersey girls did. Like they're like kind of like they're obviously very new and they were grasping for straws to like
Mm-hmm.
get screen time, and that's fine. That's what you need to do. But like some shit, like it's just not worth going. Like, why are you going after Sutton in her throat? Like, please,
Yeah,
Sutton
you're
is
going
batshit crazy.
like, let's
We
look
know
at what
that.
we're fighting about right now. You're fighting about someone's esophagus. It's just, what are we doing right now?
No, and the anesthesiologist, like national whatever
That was
board,
messy.
literally came out and was like, "We do not condone."
That was so embarrassing.
That
I think
is
that
because
was when it was like, we need to cut ties with her because I feel like Bravo's probably thinking now they're watching our network and being like, this is a joke.
yeah, because you shouldn't, especially as a medical professional, go around diagnosing people. I don't care if she was like a doctor, like an actual general physician or like a nurse practitioner, whatever. Like you, especially someone's health, talking about
And
that on
someone who didn't
TV.
ask for it.
Yeah, just giving
She didn't
advice
ask for your opinion.
and then implying that she has an eating disorder because of it. And you're a nurse. You know what
That was sick.
HIPAA is.
Yeah,
Bye.
I think it was hard because, like you said, I think there should be kind of a 2 season thing for new housewives just because it's really
Mhm.
hard to get to know somebody in the first season. And I think they do put like so much pressure on themselves, like, let me get this storyline just to make sure I get to the next season. So maybe it would like ease them into like actually seeing how they are. But then at the same time, the Anna Marie story was just, it just felt like icky. I
Yeah.
didn't care to see anymore. And then when she got fired and she, posted basically admitting it or
Yes.
whatever, then she was talking like I don't remember
I think it
exactly
was
what
her
she said, but
husband
she
or
was,
something.
well, no, but she had like referred to something along the lines of like that she was playing a part and she was like just doing what people were telling her to do, kind of almost like implying like Kyle or maybe like producers were telling her to go with this storyline. And it's like, you're your own person at the end of the day. You chose to do that. That's on you. That's on your
Yeah.
integrity. You have
Yeah,
to
now you
live
look a
with
mess.
that. So you didn't have to do that.
And what hospital is going to hire you now?
Exactly. So
because I
now you
wouldn't.
need to live your influencer content creator life
Yeah,
because
seriously. And
you'd be fired.
yeah, and also your husband just straight up saying you're an 8.5 is like crazy.
Her whole
And
storyline was embarrassing from top to
she's like,
bottom.
yeah, well, I'm
Proud
an
of it.
8.5. Yeah, and proud. Like, oh my God, pick me, choose
I
me,
could
love
never
me.
imagine. Like if
No,
I
I
ask
don't.
my husband, am I 1 out of 10? I expect him to say 11.
Thank you. I was gonna say he better not. I'll be upset if he says
Are
10.
you kidding
I would
me?
be upset.
8.5 is like way too almost just brutally honest to the point where it's like, wait, I'm uncomfortable now.
No, I'm uncomfortable. And like if that was she was my girlfriend, I'd be like, girl, like your husband's he's supposed to like even if you were an 8.5.
He's supposed to hype you up.
Yes. Like what? Like he straight up said there are other women out there that are 1.5 better than you. But I
I
picked
just don't
you.
like that because it just felt very like, I'm going to humble you. Okay. Like
Yeah.
you're not that special. Okay. You're
Yeah.
average.
Yeah.
You're
That's what
just a
he
little
said.
above average. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
okay. Enough of those girls. Let's talk about the ones who are on now. Let's do a Real Housewives of New Jersey recap.
let's get it.
What did you think about this episode?
What did I think? John Fuda. I started skipping his scenes. I'm officially at the phase where
It's
I'm
literally only episode
skipping.
2.
Yeah, like literally 2 episodes in, and I'm like, I'm skipping Fuda scenes. I'm sorry.
Which scenes did you skip? I'll fill you in if it was anything important.
Honestly, I literally made it to the end and it was that last scene. I don't even remember what they were talking about, but I just remember Fuda being on this screen talking, and I was like, I don't want to hear a damn thing. Calling a grown woman a has-been as if this literally isn't her show. Like this
Like
is the
she is your boss.
Yes, we all know that. That's like, come on. Like, even people that don't know anything about Housewives know who Teresa is. When she flipped that table, she literally birthed a generation of reality TV stars. Sorry. Like, I don't
May I
care if you like her or
say
not.
Taylor Swift knows who she is. So I'm sorry. If Taylor Swift knows who you are, you're not a has-been.
No, like, no one. Rihanna loves you. Taylor Swift
Exactly.
loves. Like Rihanna literally said my favorite like scenes are Teresa with her daughters. Like I just love seeing her with her daughters. And I'm like,
Reality
me
TV
too.
icon. Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
scenes with her daughters. Those are the
No,
best ones.
literally.
So let's just start from the top then. So we start this episode with Danielle taking her little daughter Valentina to get some new headshots because she wants her to be a star. In her words, she is going to have an Oscar one day. And
What I say last week? What did I say? I
I'm
said
sorry, she's crazy, dude. Like, you know what? After seeing this quiet on set stuff, I'm like, why would anybody willingly put their child in the spotlight in
no.
this environment?
Oh my
I'm just
gosh. I think I thought the same thing. I was like, my kids aren't even gonna have access to an iPhone or the internet.
like, that's
Like,
probably just me being strict, but I was
yeah,
like,
I
oh
don't even
no.
care. It's for their own protection because no child star has ever come out unscathed. And it's also interesting because like she has a son. Like, why can't you put him into
She's literally living
fashion?
vicariously through her daughter.
Yes, yes, it's giving Kris Jenner. Like, let me
Oh my
pimp
God,
my
yes.
daughters out for fame, fortune, and I don't know where she thinks she's getting an Oscar from.
Yeah, please. So that's
Oscar,
interesting to me, but I think the most interesting part of this whole Danielle finagle is that I need to know what happened with her brother and dad.
yes.
Because she's talking about, so they're going to have this celebration of life party for Nate, because I didn't even know this. I don't know if they talked about it the first season.
Mm-hmm.
He had like, I think a brain cyst and he had to have brain surgery to remove it. And, you know, he literally could have not been here. So they're having this beautiful party, which I think is cool. But then she's talking about how she's not inviting her family. It's just friends. And then she kind of gets into how she's not talking to her dad now either, because last season she mentioned that her brother, I think, and his wife had a baby and she gave them a baby gift and they returned it. And the dad kind of like took the brother's side. So now Danielle said that I cut him off for that.
I need to know more. I'm sorry, Danielle, you're looking a little crazy because we don't have context. Your brother must
Mm-hmm.
have I don't know what he called you, what he did to you. He must have stole money. He must have stole your goddamn house. I don't know.
Okay, girls,
but
I did a little bit of research because
I'm
on
sorry.
this podcast, listen, I don't want to only just give us headlines. Like sometimes we need to go deep into the online shit and like
Yes.
get into the social media and find all the clues. So this is allegedly, but allegedly, I was digging through some Instagram comments, Reddit, all the like, you know, the deep internet to get some tea. And Danielle and her brother, allegedly, one of the reasons that they fell out is that the brother and his wife are very private people. And Danielle is literally a fame whore. I'm sorry, there's no other way to put
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And she was trying to take over their wedding and was like trying to get it branded. She was trying to get sponsored vendors. She was trying to make it like a huge thing. She's trying to have like her name attached to it. And apparently, like that was the final straw for them and they cut her off. They're like, this is literally our wedding. Please
Mhm.
stop.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more to it because if that's kind of how she is to the point where she would allegedly literally take over her brother's wedding to brand it, like there is no stopping this kind of woman
Yeah.
with like, this is like a narcissist personality, in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, that like, I'm sure that's not the full reason why they cut each other off, but I'm sure that was like the last straw for them. Like, okay, we're done here. So
Yeah.
you know,
I wonder
I have no idea if that's true, but I could totally see that being true.
how did she get brought on the show?
Oh my
Like
gosh, yeah.
whose
Who brought
friend
her
was
on
she?
here?
I'm trying to think. Let me look.
Wasn't she like Caroline Manzo's step something or
Mm,
other? I feel like she's been in the Jersey scene from that.
yes.
There's some kind of connection to Caroline Manzo, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. How is she related? Okay. It looks like Danielle's father married the ex-wife of Anthony Larita. So Danielle's connection make her Caroline and Dina's stepniece. So it's like way down the line,
Okay.
but it's close enough to where I feel like the theme on Jersey, because it is a family show, that's literally what Melissa did. She was like, "Oh, my sister-in-law's on the show. I'm getting on the show. Oh,
Yeah.
my step cousin's on the show. Like, I'm getting on the show."
Then I need to see Danielle's brother on the show.
Ooh,
I would like to see the full story.
no, I want the full story. Me too.
But I did think that it was mature of her to say that she still lets Nate talk to her dad so that the kids can keep in contact, because
Yeah.
that's like something that you don't think about is like, okay, so if you cut the parent off, now the grandkids, they don't get to see the grandparents anymore, especially because they don't
Mhm.
even know what's probably going on. So I thought that
Mhm.
was nice.
Yeah. Because I thought the same thing when she said that. I was like, well, dang, what about the kids? Like, kids need their
Mhm.
grandparents. So I'm glad that they're still in her life. Yeah, I want to know
This is
more
literally
about
another
the
Teresa
kids.
Melissa. I need the
Yes.
full story now.
Yeah. And I need one of these messy little ladies, Margaret, to unleash the truth on us.
You know, Margaret has the truth. Like, and maybe I heard that Danielle kind of goes over to the other side. I wonder if it's like, oh my God, Margaret has some shit on me.
No, they know. Somebody on that cast knows what went down. They're just
Yeah, for
holding
sure.
it in.
Yeah, they're withholding it to release at the right time. That's how Jersey
Yeah.
is. They make me sick.
Nasty. Nasty.
Yes. So Black Dolores is now getting back into real estate.
She kind of gives Robin Dixon a little bit
Stop.
in the way
Don't
like
say that about our good sis
I
Dolores.
love look, I love Black Dolores down. I said I would be her if I was a housewife. But that lady has a new house, a new man, and a new job every season. And honestly, like kind of iconic, like good for you.
That's
If
like,
you
yeah,
don't
that's her storyline.
yeah, like if you don't like it, leave it. Like go ahead, queen. But also like what's really going on?
Please tell us what's going on. So her and Polly are talking about the shenanigans that happened at Messy Fessy's 55th birthday party. And I'm dying at Polly saying, I didn't know Italian men were so sensitive. Like I thought that I was going to have to take my titty out and breastfeed him, talking about
No,
John Fuda.
yeah, because like, are you okay?
The thing is, Polly
Italian.
is
Yeah.
just, I feel like he's so like, this is not his culture. And I feel like
No.
these are the times when you really see it. Like he is literally, I think a normal man who is just happening to be dating Dolores, and he's seeing all of this craziness. Like these men they're trying to get in the storylines too. Like, wait a minute. I thought we were just on the sidelines. Like, no, they
No,
really are like getting into it.
he had no idea what he was
He
signing
had
up
no
for.
clue.
Like he's just like literally some Irish lad that's dating this little Italian girl from Patterson that's playing Switzerland. and is like, oh, like sure, I'll be on the show, like whatever. Because I also noticed that in their title cards, it's not Polly that's in it, it's
It's
Frank.
Frank. Yeah, and we haven't even seen Frank.
Mm-mm.
Where is Frank?
Where where's Frank? You know who we also have not seen?
Who?
Jennifer Aiden.
You're right.
She
Or
was
Bill.
hardly in this episode,
Mm-hmm.
and she wasn't in the first one at all.
And the 2 episodes, well, it's literally only been 2 episodes, but the episodes that she has like been in and where we've seen her, she's been kind of being nice and cozying up to Margaret because they had another nice interaction. So interesting.
Yeah, we'll see what that's foreshadowing.
Yeah. So then Louis and Teresa are talking, and did you notice his shirt? He's wearing a shirt that says "Give me pizza, you old troll" from Melania. I was like, wait, I kind of don't like that, even though I like Melania and I think
Merch.
it's funny. It's just like, why are you wearing merch?
Merch. Teresa was
Both of
wearing
them are
merch
wearing merch.
too. Yeah, they always wear merch. And like I get it, but also like I think screen printers should be taken away from
Yes.
everybody
Everyone in
actually.
New Jersey, actually.
Like I don't
From
need a
MV2.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody like take away the screen printing t-shirt businesses, because one thing they're gonna do, they say one cute little quote and then they're like,
And it's
oh,
on a
let's make it a
t-shirt.
t-shirt. And I'm
I
like, who's buying this? Because I'm your target audience as someone who wastes so much of their time on your life. And I am not buying
And I
this.
still wouldn't wear that shirt. Yeah, I
Mm.
know. I don't get it. But anyways, I thought it was so cute when she was talking about Gabriella. I like to hear her talk about Gabriella just because she's the shyest out of all the daughters and we don't really see her that much. So when Teresa was saying that she's like her mom, or she reminds her the most of her mom, and that she's like the
Yes.
rock of the family, I just thought it was so
No,
cute.
I like wanted to cry because she was like, she reminds me so much of my mom, like how smart she is, and just like,
And she looks
oh,
like the
yes,
mom.
she
Yeah.
does. Like, it's so weird because I never thought, because obviously Gia and Melania are like identical to me. And I'm like, I can't tell who they look like. Like, they look like
I think Melania is like
Teresa.
a little Teresa.
Yeah, but then it's like the other, like the last two, they look like mommy's mommy, or they look like their dad. Like when they're next
I
to
think
their
they
dad,
look
they
like the
look,
dad side. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. So cute. I love her. Like I love all of Teresa's daughters. Like I want them to thrive. And Gia going to law school for immigration law because of what happened to her dad. I'm like, break my heart. Why don't you?
Traumatized eldest daughter trope.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like,
Like, of course, she's going to work hard in that. And of course,
of course she couldn't save her dad, so she's gonna like try to save everybody else.
I'm sick.
It's sad. Like, pray for the
uh,
eldest daughter, especially what she went through, and just like, okay, like she really did raise those girls. Because okay, mom's in jail, dad's in jail. Zia and Zio are only here when the cameras are here, and Nona
oh my
and
God.
Nono are literally sick. Like they're elder.
I know. Oh my
And I
God.
have 3 kids in elementary school, middle school.
My heart goes out to Gia. And
Oh,
then it's like,
Gia, we
no
love you.
wonder she's so, she is so defensive and kind of like quick to have a sharp tongue because it's like, what else would you expect from somebody who went through that kind of childhood?
Yeah, no. Cameras all around. On top of like imagine just going through all of that, like just not having it blasted on TV for everyone, and
Mm-hmm.
then like it's literally like waking up in the morning thinking about so many things. I just wish things
I
would
know
get better.
it's a meme, but when you actually listen to the lyrics and you really think about the context, she's literally breaking down crying because her family is so toxic and traumatic. And it's like, it's actually heartbreaking.
It's sad. And just for them to turn out like decently fine. They're all like
I know. Thank
successful
God.
girls. They're going to college. I'm sure Melania and the youngest, Adriana, I'm sure they'll go to great schools too. Like I mean, Gia
Yeah.
went to Rutgers. Gabriella's going to Michigan. Like those
Yeah,
are
that's a good
big,
school.
those are good, great schools. So I'm happy for the Judice daughters.
Yeah, they're cuties. And then after that, Teresa says in her confessional, she has this new confessional look with this like light blue halter dress and she has her hair up. And I was like, this is literally her best look of the season.
Yes.
But she's basically talking about how she has some stuff with Marge that has like legal issues that she can't necessarily say, but she has proof that she is lying. So this is like now like the second or third time we've heard this. So I'm like, please tell me, what are we talking about?
Like Teresa, please.
Stop with the teasing.
No,
I would
literally.
love to know. Melissa and Joe are having some, is it a birthday brunch, going away brunch for Antonia? And they're like trying to, you know, show that they have a family too. We don't only have to film with Teresa, okay?
That's exactly what that scene was. That's all it was. It
Like,
was
look
like,
at my family.
yeah, look at my other family. That's so great. And they accept me and they love me. And blah, blah. That's all that scene was.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to just be like, okay, they're being genuine and this is sweet, right? This whole little him embracing her cousin coming out and being the officiant. So it's like, okay, you can literally be the officiant in another marriage, but you can't go to your sister's wedding. Anyways,
Literally, though. Literally.
so, but yeah, that was nice. That was sweet. But I was dying laughing
Yes.
because they're like all getting emotional and crying and stuff. And then you just hear like in the corner, Antonia, like in Sammy from Jersey Shore voice, like, can you guys stop? You know, she gets sick of them. Like, she's probably like, my parents are so annoying.
No, literally. She can't wait to go to Delaware, wherever the hell
She
she's
is
going.
ready to dip. Like, and she's the oldest daughter with two younger boys. Like, no.
No.
She's got to get out of that house.
No, she has to get out. Pray for the
like,
eldest
you know,
daughters.
she's grown up way too fast. Yes. Pray for the
Yes.
eldest daughters.
Like, I love my little baby sister position. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world, literally.
Yeah, you wouldn't want this life. Okay. And then Teresa is having a hangout with the girls and she has like an M sculpt party. And it's like, this is just such rich people shit. Like, invite me over to get M sculpt done.
I was
please.
thinking this is so Housewives. Like, all
Yes.
Housewives franchises have like common themes. One is a psychic, one is a beauty procedure, one is a therapy session.
Tell me more.
There's like another one, but I'll think of it. But every single franchise has had a psychic, some sort of beauty procedure, like whether it's like laser or like M sculpt or like fillers, Botox, whatever it is. And there's always a therapy session because we just need to bring everybody back together.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, they're hanging out. The girls are talking. They're getting their M sculpt, and Danielle tells them, like, I just so you guys know, for Nate's party, I'm staying with the Fudas at their shore house, and I think, you know, testing the water, seeing how they're gonna react. And Jennifer Aiden, no reaction. And then Teresa was just like, okay, like, God bless. If you want to have a relationship with Rachel, I'm not going to stop you. Like, I don't know if Danielle was expecting like they were going to get mad. They played that well because, to be honest, then we have the opposite scene where it's like Rachel Fuda and John Fuda talking. I always have to say their last names.
Yeah, I have to say Fuda.
But they're talking to like Jen Fessler in their shore house, and they're basically saying, I don't know if this is a scene you skip, but they're like, you can't hang out with Teresa.
Yes, I did see that. He was like, I can. Oh.
Excuse me? But why is a grown man telling another woman who she can and can't hang out with? If I was Jeff Fessler, I would have looked at him and said, actually, don't talk to my wife like that. And don't tell my wife what to do ever again, you punk bitch.
I just can't, literally, I can't associate with people that associate with trash like that. As if, like, the reason why you're on the show isn't for the trash like that. Like, the heartbeat of the show, literally.
Especially last episode, he's saying, oh, that he admires Teresa because they both went to jail. And now it's like, oh, this is trash. This is a has-been.
And the fact that, like, he's saying this to Fessler and Danielle as Danielle's husband. Like, we are here because my husband had brain surgery. My husband almost lost his life. And you're upset as a grown man over another grown woman liking a grown woman. And I love Jen Fessler. Jen Fessler might be one of the greatest friends of all time besides
I'm obsessed
Sutton.
with her.
Yeah. Like, seriously, she's like, I like, maybe it's to a fault, but I like Teresa. Sorry. And I'm like, I like that you can own that. Yeah, exactly. The bitch is fun.
The show is about complex friendships. And I
Yes.
get that you're not going to want to, like, if this was real life, like, you know, you don't want like your closest girlfriend to be friends with someone that you don't like. But in the context of this show, like, you have to be for real right now. This is a show about exploring friendships. You can't limit people to be like, you can't talk to her because she was mean to me. Like, there's a
Yeah.
whole other show that and cast members that this revolves around. The show does not revolve around the Fudas. I literally
No.
don't care about you guys.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like you got like again, that I think was the last scene I watched with Fuda because I was like, next
That was
time he's
probably the
on the
last scene you
screen,
needed to watch.
I'm skipping.
Well, I think we should bring up something interesting is that Rachel says in her confessional that Teresa is trying to like throw John's past in his face. And she says he was 17 and a child and it was weed. And that's why he got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
So we were saying last week, like, oh, you know, if it's weed, it's one thing, but like we thought he was selling more, like something, you
Yeah.
know, more serious.
Mm-hmm.
So Rachel's saying that he was 17 and that it's weed. I went on social media and I've been seeing a lot of people dispute that with some like pretty factual claims, a la his arrest record that literally states the date on it. And he was not 17, he was 21. And then on top of that, it said that he was arrested, I think it was for a DUI and that he had narcotics in the car. So I was like, I don't know if they consider weed a narcotic. It could have been weed that, you know, he got
Mhm.
arrested with. But then people were commenting at the time of his arrest, like in 2008, they didn't call weed narcotics. That's only like cocaine and stuff like
Like
that.
hard drug.
Yeah. So Rachel, is she literally lying? I mean, they're like trying to like
Probably.
tell a different story, like trying to make it not seem as bad. I mean, 17 and weed obviously sounds a lot better than you were 21 and you were selling hard drugs.
Yeah, with a DUI.
Exactly. And then also, allegedly, like I said, I wanted to see stuff deeper than just like what we were seeing from headlines. So I was looking on social media and Reddit and things like that. And again, you know, I don't know how true this is. So this is allegedly, but there was a good amount of people commenting in the Jersey area saying like it's known that he's a, you know, he used to be a drug dealer. Like he used to sell me and my friends coke in college. This one girl said like he sold my friend a bad batch. Allegedly. So, I mean, these are people from Jersey, like multiple different accounts on Twitter, on Reddit, on Instagram, like different sources, different people. I don't know how true this is, but it just seems very different than what she said in the confessional. So I thought
Yeah,
that was
because
interesting.
why would Teresa say the biggest drug dealer in Paramus if it was just like,
Oh, I had some weed in my car and I got arrested at 17. That's
yeah,
very
like,
different.
okay, you and literally everybody else in New Jersey, I'm sure. Like,
Exactly.
okay. But like to say that claim, like, because like she could have just said, like, and that's why you're a drug dealer. Like, she could have just left it at that.
Mhm.
But like the grand statement, like, she had to have multiple and the dildo thing on top of that. Like, I'm sorry, anything that comes out about like any housewife, like, honestly, I believe it. I
No,
believe it
honestly.
because of course,
There
you
was blinds about Mauricio cheating on Kyle for years and years. Like people like I remember I would be in this podcast Facebook group and this girl was like, I just went to Toronto this weekend and was at a club with Mauricio and like we made out. And I joined this group of like Bravo girls to be like, who is this guy? Because he was saying he was related to a housewife. So it's like there's all these blind items that happen. And it's like we always just kind of like, oh, you know, it's like it's gossip. Then they always end up kind of being true.
yeah, we'll find out in like 2 seasons, like his mugshots are gonna
Yeah.
come out or like some shit like that.
And then
We will find the
also
truth.
I saw one more thing. This doesn't have to do anything about what he sold, but just the age is he said in an interview with Page Six that he was 21 at the time that he got arrested. So he even admitted this himself. So that's why I'm just like, why are you guys spinning a different story right now when we can easily Google it?
Yeah, we can look up Paramus County arrest inquiries. I do it all. I'm always
You
looking
can
at
see people from high school.
yeah, I'm always looking at my hometown to see who got arrested this week because it's always somebody. Someone's always getting arrested from your hometown, and it's giving like that. Like,
Yeah, it's giving that.
okay.
That is so funny. But yeah, I just thought that that was crazy that he's like straight up saying you know, can't hang out with these people. And then Rachel is doing the same thing. Like she's, you know, standing down on this claim. I don't want you talking to somebody that, you know, I don't like. And now it kind of made me think, is that what her tagline is about? If you're not going to back me up, at least have a backbone. Are
Mm.
you talking about Messy Fessy?
I
And then
think
it
I
also
think
made
so.
me think, because at first I was like, oh, I'm happy that Rachel and Danielle are hanging out again because I thought that they
Mhm.
actually complemented each other really
Yeah, they
well
do.
last season. And I liked that. But now, after this episode, it made me look at them differently. I'm thinking, like, Rachel, are you just forcing her to be your friend? You know, like forcing her on your side because I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
like that whole conversation of them trying to tell Fessler what to do.
Yeah, that was very strange because okay, well fuck you. Like literally that's what I would have said. Like,
Yeah, like,
okay,
what do you want me to say to you right now? I'm going to do what I want to do.
like
I don't even know
actually
you
you're
guys like
right.
that.
You are so right, John Fuda, literally housewife of the year. Like you're right. I shouldn't be friends with someone who went to jail because you also went to jail.
That's the insane thing. It's like the hypocrisy of it all. Jersey is just straight hypocrisy. Like we
Yes.
are John Fuda of all people is literally arguing with somebody about jail claims when he has been to jail. What are we doing right now?
And his baby mama is a mess and she's in and out of jail too, according
I
to
just saw that
them.
she left the halfway house or whatever that she was in because she was like talking to some bloggers and stuff and telling them what happened. I don't know how credible she is, but I think that's where the dildo claim came from.
Had to be. Had to be.
Yeah. Something I thought was interesting in this scene, I don't know if this is the part that you didn't watch, but Fuda was talking about how she has rheumatoid arthritis, like juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and she had to get a double hip replacement at
Yes.
18 years old.
No, that
That's
was crazy.
ins
No, they dropped a lot of bombs on us this
yeah, like
or this episode.
you know what though? It's like I really, as much as they give me the ick, I really don't hate them because I go ahead and replace Melissa and Joe. Like you could be the opposing side right now, and at least both of
Yes.
y'all are bringing it.
Yeah, no,
And you have
honest.
something interesting
Maybe
besides
that's
just
what's
this.
happening. I think you're on to something because it's like, okay, like eventually we're gonna get really tired, and we already are and have been tired of the Melissa Teresa feud.
So
Um,
stale.
yeah, it's so stale, so boring, so desperate. So now it's like, okay, like you can leave and like we can just have the Fudas on here instead of the
I know.
Gorgas.
They're probably like, oh my God, we hit gold. These people are so thirsty. Like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah. And we
exactly what we
again we can
needed.
pay them half of what we pay you and they bring
Yeah.
more.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. So this party, they want to say, we're not talking about Teresa. We're not talking about Teresa. But every fucking scene, these girls are talking about Teresa. Like the pickleball scene, they're talking about her. And then when she walks into the room, literally the whole energy changes because everyone's
Yes.
like, oh my God, she's here. She's here. She's here. And it's like, you people
Like
are
that
making
girl,
the
she's
show.
obviously that girl.
Like you guys literally do it to yourself. And Melissa's like over there making faces, like doing a kissy face, like, and it's so cringe because to me, it's just like you're just showing how bothered you are.
Yes.
Just sit there and look pretty. That's all you have to do.
Literally, that's it. And start drama with somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah,
Surprise
show
me.
that we can start drama with somebody else. You just make it so easy for me to be like, all you, Teresa is literally all you care about.
No, it is.
That was
Remember
crazy.
the previous seasons where it was like, oh, I have the long lost sister. Oh, we're trying to have a baby. And it's like, girl, we know you read Twitter and saw that. Everyone's like, damn, Melissa brings nothing except Teresa drama. And Teresa has her own whirlwind of drama with her everywhere she goes. And then she's like, oh, well, like, let me make up, like, maybe I have a sister. We've never
I
seen this.
can't.
Like, dude, thirsty, thirst McGurst. Ugh.
Thirsty, thirsty for sure. So now, finally, the most interesting part of the whole episode is Jen and Teresa, Jen Fessler, are going to talk. And first, I'm dying laughing because Messy Fessy is like, Jen, do you have your weed pen? Can we smoke? Can I smoke it? And it's like, that, okay, now I know who I am as a housewife because like I am going to go take the weed pen before a stressful conversation. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like, thank you. Like, actually, thanks for asking. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. Like,
She's so funny.
I like dream. This is so off track, but dream housewife blunt rotation. Jen Fessler,
Of
Nene
course.
Leakes, Teresa, Kim Richards. Because I
Kim
know
Richards for sure. She would be tweaking, bro. We would be painting on the walls.
Yeah. Literally coloring the walls, coloring Alice in Wonderland, like hearing like deep stories that Kathy Hilton does not want us to know.
No,
Like
does not want out. Embarrassing Kyle stories. Oh my gosh.
dream.
I'm
No,
trying to
yeah.
think of anybody else who I would like in there. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I was gonna say I was trying to think of the new Roni girls, and I was thinking about Bryn for a
I was
second. And
gonna
I was
say
like,
maybe
actually, no, because I
Bryn.
feel like she'd be too handsy. She'd
Yeah.
be like, like to stay away from me.
Yeah, like literally touchy feely. And it's like, bitch, back up. Like, cause you're gonna try to give me a kiss and like we're not going down that road
Stay
right
2 feet
now. Like,
away from me, Jesus.
oh
That's how
my
Melissa
God.
is too when she's drunk. It's like, oh my God, get her away.
No, get her. Like, are you trying to kiss me? Like, go away. Literally, go away. Oh my
But
goodness.
okay, so yeah, Messy Fessy and Teresa are talking, and I just like it because I want to see the opposite sides sit down and talk just honestly. Like both of them, I felt like were just being so honest about what the hell happened. And it's like, I heard that you said that they didn't execute the plan properly. What did you say that? What did that mean? And then Jen is like, no, I didn't say, exactly that, but I said you guys had all these manila envelopes and, you didn't even do anything with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting because then I was thinking back, they did have like these manila envelopes and there was nothing in them. And then also something I thought was interesting is that Margaret was like very adamant about not having Jen talk to Teresa. Like it almost seemed like she was a little bit scared, dare I
Yes.
say, like she didn't want her to talk to her. Because then like when we flash back to that scene when they were first talking on the first episode and Jen was like, oh, I want to talk to Teresa. And Mark was like, I wouldn't do that. And she was like, I was thinking about bringing up, the whole thing with your son. And she was like, nope, don't talk about me to her. Don't even bring me up. Like it seemed like very almost offensive. And then again,
Yeah.
like the girlies were like literally shaking in their boots watching the two of them talk in the background. Like, I think they are scared about
Yes.
whatever this PI found or something. They seem scared. I don't know what that was
I
about.
I think it comes from because like sometimes like there are people on these reality TV shows where you're like, she's not a liar. Like she's messy. She might tell you a
Mhm.
joke, but she's not a liar. And Fessler doesn't give me like, oh, I'm gonna lie for the cameras.
Yeah.
She's just gonna give it to you straight. Like, yeah, all of us met at Margaret's house. This is what we said. This is what was
Mhm.
said. And so yeah, when we got there, they were all gassed up and then didn't even do anything about it. That just like she's very transparent,
Yes, and I
honestly.
love that. That's what I was saying. Like, I love
Yeah.
that she was just being super transparent, and it's like that's what I want to see because, like, again, they get so into the teams that they can't like see straight, and it's like, no,
Yes.
just talk. And the Louis calling Margaret's son, like, I'm so confused because they showed the phone record or whatever, and they
Mhm.
asked Louis, like, is this your number? He says yes, but then Teresa is saying, I swear on my 4 daughters that this did not happen.
I know.
I don't think she would ever swear on her kids unless, I mean, I really don't think people should do that, but like, I don't think she would swear
Anyway,
on them if she didn't believe it. Like, maybe Louis did and she really doesn't know,
yeah, that's what
you
I'm
know,
thinking because
because
I'm
I
like,
don't think she would do that.
I know for a fact, I don't think anybody on that show, except for maybe Margaret, would swear on their children and not be telling the truth. So I'm like,
So, yeah, it's confusing. She swore on her daughters. And then Dolores on Watch What Happens Live, the first episode after it aired, she also said that Louis didn't do it. I don't think he did it, or he swore he didn't do it as well. But then I'm like, okay, but I don't understand how it says his number is right there. So how did he not do it if you guys are saying this is his number and there's a phone record? So I was looking up some stuff online because I just don't understand. And people were saying that there was actually a time, like when this was all happening, that there was a lot of like spoof calls, basically where like
that's
fans can call somebody and it acts as your number, but it's not really them calling. And they're saying that's what happened.
because
I,
Andy said that last season. He said,
yeah.
like,
So
I
it's
would
like,
always think the housewives are calling me, and then I answer, and it's like someone else.
so, and that kind of makes
Mm.
sense because then Margaret's saying there's supposed to be a recording, but we haven't heard a recording. And why didn't they open the manila envelopes? Like if Louis at this point, after I found out about the spoofing thing, I need more than just his phone number on a record to prove it. Because if Andy's saying it too, other people are saying this can happen. Clearly this is something that can happen. So like, just give me more proof. If Margaret said, you literally said you had the recording, show us the recording and we could put this to bed.
Yes. And also like it very easily could have been Margaret.
And that's what and I think this is why she's scared. And because it's like, why don't you want them to talk? And Fessler is your own friend. So why is she questioning it too? Something's not up.
No, something's
not
rotten and Paramus because I just need I just want the real truth. I want pictures.
Same.
I want real truth, and I want to know for a fact that you said this or you did this, or like I need it to come out so we can move forward. Damn it, we're
I just
still
want to move
arguing.
on. We're literally arguing about the reunion. Yeah, that's too much. A few other things to point out. One, I wanted to talk really quickly about the preview for next week and then watch what happens live.
Yes.
So the preview for next week, it shows Margaret and Jackie getting into it. So it seems like we're going to start to see what's happening.
Because I saw Jackie and Teresa hugging and I said, he's trying to get her spot back. She said, oh, this is what's happening. Like, let me get back on the show. Because I didn't like Jackie when she was on, I'll be honest.
No, I didn't either. So I'm not going to be fake like, oh, yay, she's on Teresa's side. I like her now. I never really cared for her. So I have to say, you know, as much as she wants to say Melissa is strategic, that's kind of strategic on her end to all of a sudden pop out and now you're friends with Teresa. We'll see how it actually is. Like if there's, because you have to have more on a friendship based on just like, we hate the same person. Which is probably what this is right now. Like we both hate Marge.
Margaret. And I wonder why Margaret has gotten like, I wonder what happened between Jackie and Margaret.
I heard that Margaret was the one who was behind the Evan rumor. So I wonder if that'll play out. Because if that is, that's foul because they blamed that on Teresa.
Yeah, because
and it was Margaret the whole time. Yeah, exactly. I saw a rumor and I could so see this happening. But again, this is like alleged. You never know that Margaret found out, told Melissa and Joe because she knew that Joe would tell Teresa and Teresa would tell everybody, which is exactly what happened.
That would make
like Teresa. Sense. Yeah. Joe was like, oh, I'm going to tell my sister when they were still talking. And then Teresa's loud mouth started telling everybody at the party.
literally like tapping to a stranger. You know, Evan's cheated on her. Like, girl, oh my gosh, like please,
like at the party. No Riz, no class. You need to take a lesson from LVP.
No, seriously.
That's not how you do this.
Oh gosh, Teresa, please. Teresa.
So yeah, that should be interesting. And then finally, watch what happens live. Melissa Gorga was on with Megan McCain. It was a
sorry, I didn't reaction.
I watched this episode for research purposes only because I was like, oh my God. It was awkward, dude. It was really awkward. And it was the tension, it just felt like there was a lot of tension between Melissa and Andy because usually, you know, he loves Melissa and Joe and is like all up on them. And there was like there was different instances of the night. So one part was like, it was towards the end and he was kind of asking her a question. He was like, so, you know, like, was it a relief this season that you and Teresa kind of just like, you know, like the masks were off, like you just didn't fuck with each other. It is what it is. And yeah, rather than just answering the question, Melissa got like really defensive. She was like, it's real. It is what it is. Like, I'm not going to hang out with her again. And Andy was like, I know, I'm not saying you're going to hang out. Like, I'm not saying that. And she's like, no, it is what it is. Like, you can play your little games, do whatever you want to do. Yeah, when she said that, like, you can play your little games. I was like, oh, she's like, you might as well stop asking me because there's no relationship there. And you could tell like when Andy gets annoyed because he was like, I know. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is so awkward. And, you know, I was trying to put myself in Melissa's shoes and I was like, she's probably just feeling so defensive because the whole entire night was literally talking about Teresa. Literally the word of the night for Watch What Happens Live was Teresa. They said it 24 times in a 22-minute fucking show. So Melissa is probably like, I am tired.
Yeah. But the thing is, she needs to realize nothing's going to change. The only thing she can
Nothing.
change is her leaving. That's the only way you're actually gonna be done with Teresa. If you say you're so done and you want to move on with your life, you will have to leave the show, because I promise you, Teresa's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, exactly. No, well
And,
said. And
that's and
it's
every franchise has one. It's not a problem. Like, people are still talking about Nene Leakes on Atlanta, and she hasn't been on in 5 years, and people are still like, "Oh, we want Nene back." Kyle Richards and Beverly Hills, Vicky and OC, like the OGs. Like, it's just, it is what it is, and either you have to stomach that and like get over it, and like, okay, look, I don't like this bitch, but like I can like pave a new trail, and like I could be the next generation of New Jersey. But no, she's just like, I just don't want to talk about it, and it's like, well, you're on her show, like you can't avoid it, like you literally
yes.
can't avoid
She
it.
just yeah, that's the thing, is that she wants to stay on the show while also avoiding the fact that Teresa is the main character. So like another prime example of this on Watch What Happens Live that I thought was so awkward is they're playing a game called like, would you rather do this or hang out with Teresa? So they're asking her all these questions like,
Please.
would you rather like renovate your house again or hang out with Teresa? And then one of the questions is, would you rather go to lunch with Danielle Staub or hang out with Teresa? And she goes, Danielle Staub, like, of course, like, let's not forget that she was the one who started this franchise. And then Andy goes, yeah, her and 4 other women, including Teresa.
Yeah, like,
And
I'm
then just like,
sorry.
what? And then, Melissa goes, I mean, and then they just move on. But it was just so awkward.
So
Like,
awkward, because it's
you
like,
can't pretend that she didn't start this.
come on. We do not know Danielle. Stop. Like, come on. Oh my gosh. Like, be serious for a second. Like, here's the thing. I've made many enemies in this lifetime for some reason. I think I'm great and enjoyable and lovable. But for some reason, I have a lot of people that don't like
That's
me.
that Aries energy.
Yeah, like, okay, whatever. But as
You're
many
too
of
bold
those,
for some people.
too much. It is. I get it. Like, I am a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But like,
No,
even
we love it.
after all the things, like all the enemies I've made, I will always give them credit where it's due. Like, I'm like, always like, oh, that girl's like, she's really pretty. Like, I can't lie, can't stand her guts, but she's a beautiful girl. Or like, she's really
Yeah.
smart, or she's really funny. What XYZ, like whatever the case is, like you have to give credit where it's due, because that makes you look so much. That
She just
takes you to
seems
like
very bitter.
another level, and when you don't do that and just deny, it makes you look bitter, because that is
Yeah.
objectively untrue.
Yes. Usually you can tell like Andy's more on their side and he asks Teresa the harder questions. Like he really gets on her.
Yeah.
So I thought it was so funny when he was like, even Andy couldn't be like, bitch, what are you talking about? Danielle started the show. Teresa did too.
Yeah, like as much, and one of them's still here, and we're talking about one
And
of
like
them
if
right
we're talking in terms of like between Danielle and Teresa, and she's like, oh, I'm only picking one because she started the show. No, babe. They
now.
were
No,
both there at the same time. I'm surprised she would even want to hang out with Danielle Staub because
no.
the other rumors outside of her starting the show without telling Teresa was that she was reaching out to Danielle Staub in the early years and like saying, I'll give you dirt on Teresa. And then that's how Danielle came to that reunion, basically being like, you didn't see, your nephew in the hospital or whatever. Like, where'd she get that information from?
Oh,
Shady, shady.
Melissa,
But that's Jersey.
girl.
So that
Well,
was an
hopefully,
interesting episode. I feel like it was kind of filler, but we're starting to learn a lot more about the dynamics this season.
yeah, it was definitely giving filler episode. I'm hoping we get like a little bit more into the mix next episode. I want to see some shit fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, that was a good one. We will be back again this week to talk some pop culture updates.
Yes, and please, please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, rate us on Apple Podcasts, download our episodes. We've already had so many like, not to be like crazy, but like I knew we were gonna be a hit, but like we've been like, the girls have really been listening, and we appreciate and we
I
love
know
you
it's really sweet.
so much. Like, oh my gosh, like I love y'all. So
No,
thank you
seriously.
so much.
Thank you so much for listening and supporting. And yes, please leave a rating and review, 5 stars only, because it would really help us out so much. This is a new podcast, and I know that ratings and reviews will really help us get up there. Also, if you think that we would be a podcast like your friend would be interested in, tell your friends about us. That's how I always find out about new podcasts, is if a friend tells me about a new one. So if you think that some girlies would like some gossip break time, let us know. And thank you so much for listening again.
No, we love you and we'll see you later this week.
Bye.